Alright guys, I made this thing twice and I'm not editing these things anymore, so this is going to be quick. PCs, cheaper, more affordable, much easier to use, more utilitarian, and as of late, become much faster just to use. The old thought, if you want something to plug and play, go with the console. That died. All I have to do is plug in my computer, hit the on button, start up a game, and that's it. How does that happen? Because I turn up my computer, don't have a login, because it's a public gaming computer. Steam starts up automatically with the computer. All I have to do is select a game and play it. Plug, hit the turn on button, just like a console, and play. That's all it is now. Now, I'm going to start this off with just the basic PC crap. Okay, I built a well, I didn't personally build it, I'll explain later. A $350 gaming PC. It is future-proof for the next 7 years. Why is it future-proof for the next 7 years? Because no matter what comes out, this GPU can run it no matter what. It may not be high all the time, it may not be medium all the time, but it will still run it. And that's a hell of a lot longer than the current generation is going to last. Gaming journalists out there, and so many people who are trying to defend it, realize this too. I was approached by a very die-hard fan of the 360. He loved the Xbox One. Now he approached me. He's a friend of mine. He's an opponent of mine too. But he approached me and talked to me about this. He brought up something that made him nervous, because he felt bad after he purchased his Xbox One in 2013. Oh, not 2013. Sorry, 2014. The beginning of it. I keep thinking it's 2014 still. He told me he doesn't see this console generation lasting as long as the last one. I said, yeah, no shit. It's not going to last as long as the last generation. In fact, this might be one of the shortest iterations we've had in the last 3 decades. And keep in mind, there were some long-lasting consoles out there. They weren't as long-lasting as the 7th gen, but they lasted a while. Now, to put it bluntly, Microsoft and Sony decided, let's build a PC for cheap, take a profit, and watch them think that this is current generation and cutting-edge hardware. It's not. I can't tell you how harsh it is to say this, but it's not. It's already outdated. Games engines have become more complicated. What we're seeing is a midway gap. If they had waited just another year to release the consoles, they could have released it with 750 Ti level of graphic hardware. That would be basically the equivalent of 2 Xbox Ones running. Well, at least that's what they said before. But anyway, it'd be easy and more efficient. But no, they have to rush it out to hardware. They realized very quickly it could be made cheaply. They decided instead of having longevity, they would have quick profits. And by that I mean last generation took about $50 from Microsoft and $100 for Sony. That's a $100 loss and a $50 loss in each console, because they were cutting edge and more advanced. They thought, let's get the profit back firsthand. They made their profit off the last generation by licensing fees, online fees, and dozens of other options, including microtransactions and smaller versions of the Microsoft stores and all that, and the PlayStation Network store. That's how they made their money back last time, and that made them richer than ever. They decided to do the same thing, but instead of adding the loss, they just added the upfront profit. This cut the life of the 8th-gen consoles considerably. Now, moving on. Like I said earlier, I built a $350 PC. When I said not exactly me, what I mean is my baby niece, who's 6 years old. I call her my baby niece, I don't care what you say. Who's 6 years old, built my PC. The wiring's a bit off and very, very messy, but I fixed that myself later on. I color-coded all the parts. Gave her a step-by-step list. And I'm not talking about step-by-step like which goes where. I'm saying put this one in first, this one in second, this one in third. I didn't tell her where to put it. I didn't direct her in any way. I just told her which ones to put in next. She did it in under an hour. And keep in mind, she wasn't there for the entire hour. She wandered around. She played with the doll for about 10 minutes. Then she came back. Do you know why it took her so long to build it? How short of a time, really? When she was done, she explained to me, she looked into the camera, I'm not allowed to upload it by her parents' consent was not given, so I'm not uploading it. She said this, and this is coming from a 6-year-old. It's just like in school, you put the circle block in the circle hole, the square block in the square hole, the triangle block in the triangle hole, the star block in the star hole. Oh, she called the triangle the triangle. Cute. She's cute like that. But that's just it. That's all it is. It was so simple and so easy. So that excuse that it's hard to build died out a long time ago. She's not that super intelligent. I love her to death, and I'm willing to say that. She's not super intelligent. She's just very average, and just follow the easiest way possible. Does this fit here? Yes. Does this fit here? No. Now, I gave her guidance with the CPU because, I mean, all this stuff was cheap, and I had it insured. I didn't really give a crap. But I didn't want her to cut her finger on it, so I basically put the CPU in there. She told me where to put it. I put it in there for her, and that's it. It was so easy for her to build. And she's 6. Now, to finish this off, consoles are dying. The way they are right now, they're dying. They're not gaining profits as much as they used to. Especially after, well, I mean, they're getting more profits now, but it's upfront profits. We're gaining a massive influx now, but they're not going to get their payback later on. They're not going to get their income later on. It's going to slow down rapidly. Pretty much everybody who's going to buy a console is going to buy that within the next year. And it's a 2-year rush. That's all it is. And just like any economic rush, there's going to be a downside. The current consoles are starting to stress. They're starting to wane. Now, their complaint that, you know, the consoles are struggling to do 1080p 60 frames per second, that's namely true only because they were supporting the last generation for the latest games as well, which is basically catering to the lowest common denominator, which hampers all progress. That being said, it's the same thing with the 8th gen with PCs. The 8th gen is the lowest common denominator. It's not going to be the same for many games. But that's just it. We're on the turning point right now. PC is adapting to that turning point. It already adapted a year ago. The consoles are 3 years behind. They're not ready to adapt. But there are new game engines out there doing fantastic things. The consoles will never see them. They're not powerful enough. They're just not there. We're on the cornerstone. We're on the edge, just about to turn into the new age of gaming where there's new, advanced, and not unthought of, but more efficient game engines. And the consoles will never see them. They're going to be stuck with the old stuff. There's the same stuff, different skins. That's all it is. It was the same with the last generation, the last 2 years in the last generation. And it's the same now. We're not seeing anything new. We're not seeing anything like Portal new. We're seeing new ideas and new mixtures like Star Citizen, which is the staple of the PC game right now. But we're not seeing the new innovative ideas in consoles. And people would like to scream, oh, Destiny! No, Destiny was an MMO, is an MMO. It's been in here for years. All it is just Borderlands online. That's it, Borderlands Online. And it's not new. It's not cutting edge. It just looks shiny and has an outlet for the consoles to have fun with. But it's nowhere near new or exciting. And that's what disappoints me the most. That's where it disappoints me. I would have loved to have bought a new current-gen console. I was about to. And this is coming from an avid PC gamer fan. Then I saw the specs and I realized something. This is weaker than my $400 PC that I got for my living room. I needed one in my living room to do a lot of multimedia tasking, and I could do a lot of it. But the current generation is not going to last as long. It's already on its deathbed. I'm not going to use the dark analogy. That's just pitiful. But that's just it. The current generation is not going to last as long. Now, I had a whole script ready for this, and I screwed it up. So this is going to sound all over the place, so I'm sorry about that. But just keep that in mind. I'm going to upload this to the site and YouTube. I'm sure nobody follows the YouTube one, so I'm just going to ignore it. But hey, if anybody's watching on YouTube, give it a like. Subscribe. I don't care. I love YouTube, and I would like to be a part of it one day, but I'm not really one to stick with YouTube that much. But if you want to see more videos and you want to hear more of this, then subscribe, and I might consider doing more. It's not always this sloppy. Sorry. I usually have a scripted, well done, well thought out, but today I have to go to a bunch of meetings, and in the next 20 minutes I have to go to a meeting which is someplace about an hour away. So I'm going to be late anyway. I'm recording this as I go. Now, just keep in mind, I'm not really against I'm not against consoles, but the current console generation is just too early and arrived too late. Alright. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.